Hiya, buddies! Welcome to another edition of Barn Burner. It is Boomer and Pinder and Warner on a game day. Get your helmet on. The Calgary Flames are back at home on this. It's Frozen Frenzy Day in the National Hockey League.
No, only in the U.S., Dean.
Only in the U.S.?
Because
we don't get to...
Well, I mean, why would you want to show this great new product that the NHL has been promoting for like 6 months? Why would you?
So how come Canadian teams
It's a good question. I've asked it on Twitter, and people seem to think, now people that aren't involved in the industry seem to think that, oh, well, there's regional rights. No. There's regional rights in the U.S. too. This is a question that Sportsnet should have to answer. Why you have national rights? Why are you not showing this?
What the H?
What the H indeed. So but you do have World Series of Poker on Sportsnet 360 tonight, so don't worry about the Frozen Frenzy.
Well, go get them. Moneymaker, whoever the hell.
Phil Hellmuth, who's the Canadian guy that
I forget
Daniel Negreanu.
Negreanu.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
So you lucky
Frozen Frenzy.
You lucky ducks down there get to take part in Frozen Frenzy. Now the question I guess I have, Red, is do you know what Frozen Frenzy is?
Well, only because you hinted at it yesterday, and me being the genius that I am, I've put together the two comments, and I'm feeling like there's hockey games on.
Every single NHL team is in action today. They have staggered the starts. Every 15 minutes, another game starts, so that there's always something going on. John Buchagros and Kevin Weeks on ESPN, they're going to be flying. Here's a goal. Here's a hit. Here's a save. Here's a goal. Boom, bing, bing.
Last minute of play. Let's head over here. The Minnesota's down by 1.
It's going to be exciting, except we don't get to see it.
No. What we'll have is, and it's 25,000 to Hellmuth, and he'll fold. And now the big blind, it goes over to What are we doing, you guys? What are we fucking doing?
I'm looking for the remote.
Regional stuff, but put it on 360.
So that I could turn on. There's a TV right here. I could listen to you guys and watch the games. It would be awesome.
When do the games start?
How do you lose the remote?
How do you lose the remote? You know what we need, Rhett?
Oh, now I spilled my drink all over the electronics.
Electronics.
What a horrible start. First we get no Frozen Frenzy. Now we got
no,
Rhett.
Jeez. The electronics.
The supercomputer. No.
What a terrible start to the day.
We need some good news. You got to snap us out of this thing.
We do. We need some good news for sure. You know what? I want you to handle this good news. I'm just going to lay something out, and then you've got some good news. It is a game day. Get your helmets on. The New York Rangers in town. The Calgary Flames back at home off of the loss against Detroit on Sunday. First game back after the road trip is always great. Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here.
No. Rhett's never warned us about anything.
No, it's all going to be fine. But it's a Flames game day against the New York Rangers. And yes, it is Frozen Frenzy Day. Every NHL team is in action. We'll talk about, about this game and get into the particulars about it. But we need some good news. We need some feel good. Ryan?
Well, look.
Do you have anything for us?
Look outside the window and tell me how you feel this time of year sometimes.
Well, see, I thought I was going to be smarter than the weatherman because for a good chunk of yesterday, it was just kind of wet and rainy. I was like, talking about all this snow. I don't think maybe down here where I live, maybe we're not going to get it. And all this hullabaloo and all this whoop-de-doo about a big snowstorm. It's going to be all for naught. Got a good foot on the...
So what it is, Rhett, is you've got the base of the frozen slushy rain and then about a foot on top of that, which where was I yesterday? I curled last night, and people were for laughs were pulling up the map of the city, and every road artery was red on the old traffic measure. Like
you had a nice pebble going on the roadways.
Yeah, you could do some out turns in your Hyundai if you wanted to. Yeah,
some hack weight. Yeah, I had to go. I actually had to leave the house yesterday. Went out to leave, and there was a good thick. I had to hard scrape the windows on the vehicle in the middle of the day. It's treacherous out there. Please take care and caution.
This is not Calgary winter stuff. We usually get the cold and then snow. We don't get the rain, freezing, slushy, then snow on top. That's not a move we have here. That's more of an Ontario thing.
So to the point you were making to start this thing off, you're right. It's kind of bitterly cold and very winter-esque. Brr.
I thought we were going to find something positive, and this is
Well, here it is, Rhett.
Just hang on.
So it's already shitty weather, and what time of year is it? It's bleeping October.
That's right.
So we got October, November, December,
Happy Halloween.
We got 6 months of this shit coming at us. So what we've done is we're saying, we're getting the hell out of here. We're going down to the desert. We're going to go sit in a 4,500 seat arena with some drunk college fans and watch the Coyotes beat the Flames. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We're going to get some sun. It's a nation vacation. It's the barn burner vacation. Come with us. Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix, Sky Harbor.
Hopefully.
Let's go.
We'll go to the right airport. We'll make sure that we land in the right airport, that our ride is there to get us.
You flew to Mesa that one time?
Yeah, it's right there.
No,
why would they have 2 airports in such a small little area there?
It's really not close at all.
It's kind of close anyway.
So we're going, Dean.
Oops. Shoot. I did something there. I just want to call this. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. Stand by. Yeah, we're going on January 11th to 13th. Book it. Arizona. Flights, hotels, and hockey. It is our first ever barn burner vacation presented by Alberta Blue Cross. Again, the date's 11th to 13th. We're going to go down. We got tickets to the Mullet Arena to see the Calgary Flames take on the Arizona Coyotes.
Can I make a promise?
Cooley and the Arizona Coyotes.
Just to spice things up, would it be okay if I keep my hair as treacherous and disastrous and long as it is until we get to Phoenix and then we get a mullet for the Mullet Arena?
I was going to just say, can you please go mullet when we go to the mullet?
We can do it. Why can't we? We can do anything we fucking want.
Yeah. The answer is we absolutely can.
Let's do it.
So here's the thing. It's not just, the 3 of us are going. Yeah. And we're excited. You're excited for us. But here's the rub. Want you to come with us. We have ticket packages available. $14.99 per person based on double occupancy.
Sweet.
Go to our website, nationgear.ca. And on there, that's kind of where we, for merchandise, we did the thing with the Christmas charity, which we'll be doing again. But go to nationgear.ca. You'll see the drop-down menu, and right in there, you can book your spot. It is obviously, it's a limited number of tickets available. So jump on it. Maybe it's a great Christmas gift. Maybe it's a nice surprise or whatever the case is. You just actually make a plan. Unlike Rhett and I are not good at plans. So don't be like me and Rhett. Plan ahead. January 11th to 13th. And the best part about that is maybe you like kind of being around here when it's Christmas time or leading up to Christmas and you have family out. Once you get past Boxing Day, New Year's, and you're back into that slog of January, it's the shits.
That might be.
Wouldn't you love to be, hey, you know what we're doing in 10 days, 11 days, 6 days? We're getting on a plane with those donkeys, and we're going down to Phoenix to watch the Flames and Coyotes and have a few days out of the winter.
Couple questions that are popping up in the comments. Our pal Eric is saying, no, I just read it as $14.99. No, that's not correct. We can't provide all these things for that price. And Stacy wondering if it includes a hug with Boomer, because apparently you were throwing those around at the old watch party.
You are a big hugger.
I'm a big hugger.
I say it does.
I'm pretty good hugger.
It includes one, Dean. One hug per couple.
I say it includes a mullet and a hug.
And what will your contribution then? I'll be handing hugs out. Ryan's going to get a mullet on.
I'm going to get the mullet going.
I can do some blessings.
Can you do grace? Can you do grace? We'll have some sort of a get together. You can do grace, please.
Yeah, when we sit down at the In-N-Out Burger, something fancy, we'll really splurge.
Burger before I indulge.
So, and you know what? Thanks to I hate to say it, thanks to our guys up the road at the Oilers office there. They kind of coordinated and did all. They've been doing this for a while, obviously. Yeah, the Nation Vacation Crew. So everybody up there, they got the tickets, they got the flights, they got the hotels, and we are ready to roll. Ready to roll! And again, January 11th to 13th.
Why this? Why now? When do we know exactly that the Coyotes will stop playing in Mullet Arena?
That's a good point.
We have no idea. This may be our only chance to go see the Flames in Mullet Arena, and it happens to be in the middle of winter when the desert's going to be wonderful. It's Thursday through Saturday. Love it. Get out of the frost and get into that tiny rink that people are raving about and laughing at the same time. It's quite something.
We're very excited.
Yeah, nationgear.ca. Go get it.
Let's go.
Presented by our pals Blue Cross, Alberta Blue Cross.
Book it. And don't I'm serious. It's, you know what it is. We don't have an unlimited supply of tickets here. We're not,
You don't want to be that guy.
you don't want to be that guy.
Try to grab one and it's already gone.
Rhett, people asking how you're going to dump the cheese into the salsa at the rink.
Do they have suites? I don't think we have I think we're actually in the belly of the beast with the fans. I don't know that they have suites.
We might be in the rowdy section. I saw something specified about the tickets. It might be put nacho cheese in your friend's wife's hair kind of party, Rhett.
Whatever.
One of those that you've been to.
Worry about the cheese.
Salsa. So we're pumped. This is the first of many things we're going to be doing, getting on planes and doing things that involving you, barn animals, getting out of town and getting after it a little bit. Can we go sooner?
No, we do have to wait till the game is played then. I don't know that Gary's going to rejig.
I just wonder, that's January.
Flights and hotels already.
It snowed yesterday. I could use a Phoenix trip now-ish.
See who they're playing. I don't know that we could organize more than just you, but
anyway, that's the story there.
Who do they got in the Frozen Frenzy today south of the border?
Well, everybody's playing. Everybody's playing. Frozen Frenzy. Will you get to watch that, Rick? Because I know in Buffalo, I was thinking about this. You're in Buffalo and you get blackouts on your TV for Sabres and stuff all the time. Now the Flames are playing the Rangers. The Rangers are a New York team. Are you going to be able to watch this game?
I think it'll be nationally broadcast. Yeah, I think we'll be just fine.
No, but for the Rangers game, that is a good question, Dino. That has given Rhett.
That's what I thought
you were talking about Frozen Frenzy. My apology. That's the ESPN product that'll be wall to wall. But regionally, there are challenges. That's why people saying it's because TSN has. They're complete morons because there's tons of regional deals in the States that this ESPN thing is going to show all that. Rhett, thank you for that face rub. Face palm, I believe.
Didn't need to call them.
No.
Didn't need to.
And it's kind of encompasses a lot of people probably.
On one hand, we're saying, hey, join us on this trip, buy tickets on our trip, and then calling them morons.
Not those people. We don't want that.
If you're a part of the moron group, just
don't come. Yeah. We don't sold out. Yeah. Sold out for the morons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, game day.
That's
what do we get out of this Flames?
I'm upset because I had a great spiel and then I forgot my homemade shirt because it was going to include, all right, Captain, my captain, it's time. You wanted to be this person.
Mm-hmm.
The team is in need of some leadership. Here's the plate. Proceed to create, Mr. Backlund.
Proceed.
What are we going to get out of him?
I liked his line.
This is why he's supposed to be the leader, isn't it? It's great that you stand up to Daryl last year. That's okay. And that can be an important part of it. But on the ice now, let's go. Make a difference. Lead the way. Dominate a game.
Penalty kill's been great. His line's been rock solid. But yeah, he's not going to score 20 to 25 because he almost never does. He's still Michael Backlund, right? We understand that.
It's not about scoring goals.
Perfect. Then you shouldn't be having an issue with his game then.
No,
he's out chancing opponents when his line's on the ice.
So yesterday the team's horseshit, but this morning when you woke up because it snowed, it got your fucking head all confused.
No,
they're great.
I said there's one line that I'm not worried about. That's all.
Well, that really helping them win. Yeah, way to go. Way to take control in Detroit when we needed you.
Hey, man, the third and fourth lines have been just fine. It's been the top two that have been a mess. If the penalty kill was getting caved in and the third line was...
You're right, Ryan. If I play 6 minutes a night and I don't F it up, I guess I'm doing great.
Does Michael Backlund play 6 minutes? Is that who we're talking about, or is that someone else?
I'm just saying, if that's your standard, is that you don't F up, you don't help the team actually win, but you don't F up, way to go. That's leadership.
I would think that what would be interesting for Michael Backlund is what kind of conversations he's having over the last 48 hours here, because it was an ugly end of that road trip, and I think probably the point you're trying to get to is, I don't think anyone expects Michael Backlund to have a hat trick tonight, but what can you do to get more out of your best players? Because Lindholm has not wowed us necessarily. Certainly not for a guy that wants $9 million a year. Huberdeau and Kadri have looked like flops. You've got Ruzicka and Coronado, a guy that was a healthy scratch for half the year last year, and a guy that was playing at college last year on the flanks of Elias Lindholm. Like, what can Backlund do to help all those people? That would be my question.
Well, okay. And what was my question?
He better play better, is what I heard you say.
I said
leadership.
Be a fucking leader, and you interpret it how you want. And you know what? I don't agree with you. He should have been better in Detroit.
Okay,
it's not good enough for the captain just to be. Oh, my penalty kill results are pretty good. Is that what you're looking for in a captain? Okay, let's go around the league and see where some captains are that we really. Some Crosby, huh?
Yeah, I don't know that anyone's putting him in Crosby's class, but I hear what you're saying.
It's about being a leader, Ryan.
It is 100%. But most of this stuff is behind closed doors, isn't it, Rhett? That's happening?
No, it's absolutely not. 100% not behind closed doors. It goes on the ice, and you fucking watch him lead by example. And
so you haven't liked this player, you have liked this player. You're going back and forth here.
Mistake-free. Show me that you're in it to win every shift, and that the rest of the guys have to follow suit. You haven't seen that. And I'm not taking shots. I'm more mad at you for your take on it than anything. It's like we can't question back.
No. Of course you can. If he's not playing well, by all means, drop. I don't think he's
on
been.
What standards is he playing well? He's not helping the team win.
His lines out chancing opponents when he's on the ice. The penalty kill's been phenomenal. So those are what the two things he excels at.
The team win.
He isn't helping the team win.
The team's not. Are they winning?
They have 2 wins. They're 1 game under 500.
100 points a year, and their team would be terrible. Was he? I'm doing my job. That's exactly what a shitty captain would say.
I'm not telling you what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. My point is, I don't know the conversations he's having. If I had to create a list of the issues of the Calgary Flames, Michael Backlund's play might be a bottom 5 issue out of 23.
You're spinning it however you want to hear it. That's not the point I made. I'm saying if you wanted to be the captain and you raised your hand and said wholeheartedly, this is the role I want to be in, then you have to do more than just be okay. You have to take the bull by the horns and lead by example and drag everyone into the fight.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Well, then the conversation's over. I made my point.
Yeah, like I don't think he's been a problem, but have you seen him take over games? No. Like there are massive issues on this team, and he's going to have to help sort them out because that's part of being part of the leadership group. So, we'll see what happens. Their third game in 4 nights against a good team in Detroit was pretty fucking ugly. There won't be as many excuses tonight. I mean, there's the first game back, but you're at home. Like, okay, you had a bad road trip. Show that you're not a bad team. It was just a bad road trip. Because if you're a bad team, that's a normal road trip. That's not a bad road trip.
Well, that's going to be the issue.
Well, yeah, and so we'll see. I mean, it's proving time for this group, right? Like, the excuses are out the window.
And I don't disagree with you that I'm not faulting Backlund in his play, but he certainly hasn't been noticeable enough where you're like, damn, he's really taking this leadership role and running with it. You've seen games where the team hasn't performed as what's the word I'm looking? They haven't competed as hard as you would hope. That's your leader has to have a say in that.
Yeah, and I agree. It hasn't been terribly inspired. Like, wow, this is an unrelenting group. That's absolutely fair. I still think they're like, if you're Michael Backlund, what the hell do you even say to Kadri or Huberdeau right now? Like, you've been in those rooms. What's that conversation like? And then Rasmus Andersson makes an incredibly selfish play with 1 second left, and you're missing a really important part for 4 games. Like, fuck, there's a lot of issues here. Backlund has not been a huge issue, but yeah, you can want more. That's fair.
But that's what the captain does, though. Like you say, what are you going to say to Kadri, or what are you going to?
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking, because Rhett's been in those rooms. Like, what is that conversation like? Is it like, relax, it's just 6 games, or is it, hey man, we need to find you another level, or is it like, hey, your neck's sore?
Part of it's leading again by example, where the guy beside you don't have. First of all, you can call him out, but you have to know the room. There's not a one answer for this problem. Right? It's not here's the stock answer that's going to change everything for all the guys that are struggling. But one of the big things you can do as the captain is be undeniable in your competitive nature, game to game. Just fucking bleed red and yellow and bleed flames and don't allow anyone else to set a standard that's non-negotiable. He hasn't done that. He's been fine. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, through 6, who have we liked? We've liked Markstrom.
Not the point again.
No, I'm with you, and I'm just trying to frame it because you're right. You can ask for more, but I think it's fair to ask for more from everyone not named Jacob Markstrom at this point. Like, all the defense can figure their shit out a little more. Certainly, the highest paid forwards have not done their job.
Demanding more from your captain doesn't mean that the demands on the other guys don't fall.
Yeah, I know. And I just don't want people to think, oh, he's a captain now, he has to be a different player than he's been his whole career, because that's kind of unfair. Like, you're there to lead, not to change the way you play the games, right?
You don't have to change your style, but you have to up your game. He doesn't get games.
You can't glide around and take nights off, but I've never viewed him as a player that has in the last half.
I disagree.
The first half of his career, we saw it all the time. But like, when you looked at when things weren't going well or they were down in that Oilers series, he was the best forward. And that's more of an indictment on Gaudreau and Lindholm and Tkachuk and Coleman, this guy that's a winner that they brought in, and Mangiapane doing all of them. Like, but it's okay. I don't really worry about his work ethic. Like, the guy plays his ass off, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I know that's, you guys are on the other side of that spectrum. We've had this conversation for 10 years. Like, there are certain styles of play that different people appreciate more than others. And, you know, some people say, God, I appreciate that fourth line guy that runs through a wall, and holy shit, this guy just scores at will. You love him around the net. And other people are like, I don't really care for this style player. That Michael Backlund every night lines up against other team's top line, and he's the first man over the boards in the penalty kill. And was he good in Detroit? Probably not, but he was maybe the least of the problems in Detroit, in the sense that
I don't get your take on it. Then I just don't understand. So why is he need to be the captain then?
Well, he didn't say I need to be the captain.
Yeah, he did.
The head coach and GM said we need a captain.
Wow.
And they wanted him to be the captain. So you can ask them why they feel like he should be the captain. We can ask Michael why he wanted to be the captain, but Michael Backlund doesn't turn into a 25-goal guy just because he's got a C on his chest. You still want him playing against top lines and on the penalty kill. You still don't put him on your top power play unit. You still expect him to be the same player he's always.
You understand what Rhett is saying, though, right? It's not about that you want to see more goals out of him. Mm-hmm. It's not about how he has played and is playing. It's about this team needed a captain. Are they in any better shape now with Michael Backlund as their captain or not?
It'd be way too early to tell. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, to this point, I don't think I would not have picked him as their hardest working player in any of the games. I think he's right. He's shot a couple pucks that he missed the net. You'd like to maybe, but it's not about point production that you put the C in your chest and now you're expected to lead the team in points. It's just, they needed a captain. I don't think there's no difference with Michael right now as their captain.
The team's played the same way as last year. We talked about it for an hour yesterday.
I'm not trying to pile on you because
no, I don't feel piled on. It's just that all this leadership stuff you talk about, are we not talking about conversations between players and stuff in the room? Like, you're saying it's not about the play, and then Brett's kind of saying, well, it kind of is about his play. Well, no, but it's not about his play. Like,
no, it's not about
his
points
play or not.
Listen, well, it can be about points, but I just feel like a captain leads by example. And when you need to kick it up a notch or turn a game around or something, that's where captains try and change the flow of a game. And I haven't seen that, whether it's a scrum, whether it's something after a whistle, whatever it is, something. He has been pretty vanilla to me through 6 games.
Which is
fine. That's kind of what he is. He's a good penalty killer. He's defensive. He is Michael Backlund.
Well, and again goes back to
the first to where it was at the start. He's been here a long time. He's a nice guy. It's nice for him to have the C, but for a team that probably needs some leadership, I don't know that he's.
You guys have been incredibly consistent. You've never really thought he was captain material, and he's still the same player he was, and you still don't see him playing as a captain. That's fine. Like, that's what you guys want from leadership, he has never checked those boxes, if you're being honest with yourself. So, I mean, I can't get upset with your takes. That's consistent with everything you've said all summer. I don't know that it was,
well, then I guess the question,
the lead us into battle thing was why you named him it. I think it's just,
yeah, but then that's the question I have then. Why you said ask Conroy and them, but you're pretty much defending the decision. And what do you see that makes him,
well,
how is he inspiring the team to be better?
I don't have a fucking clue whether this team needs a captain or not. I just know that Craig Conroy and Ryan Husker were around this thing really close all last year, and they both were very convicted when they said they wanted a captain. So it just feels a little like, and then you hear the players and you're like, yeah, it should have been a couple of years ago. He is our leader. He is our leader. And I do kind of buy into some of what Dean says, where it's like, well, you can't trust what they're saying in the media. It's like, sure, but when guys unprompted go out of their way to say things like that, that has some weight.
Who's
when you see it continually
to say that?
Rasmus has. I mean, a lot of guys. I don't have the bibliography for you here of all the times it's been said, but like a half dozen guys have said he's our guy.
I don't even care that he's the guy or not. But my point is, if you are the guy, that's great, fucking awesome. Do something with it. Make everybody better.
Yeah,
that is part of being a captain. I'm sorry, Pinder. You can say that you don't think that it is, but that is.
No, I agree with that.
Bergeron made his team better.
And that's why I asked you.
His team better.
I agree with that. And that's why I asked you, what kind of things can Backlund say to Kadri and Huberdeau? Because those are the biggest issues.
I don't know Backlund.
But you've seen good leaders. What should a real captain do at this point with those guys?
Well, I wouldn't have allowed it to happen last year.
Okay, but you're here now. You're the captain now. What do you do? What would Iggy have done?
I'm not a great I was never the captain, so I didn't have to do that stuff. Don't put it on me that it's
I'm just asking what you want to see. That's all. Because
I want to see Backlund lead the way tonight, blocking shots with his face, running into guys, doing things that, and it's easy to say, well, he's not going to change. Yeah. Well, then that's what we'll get is the same half-ass bullshit from a team that didn't have a leader and still doesn't. If he's not willing to do more or can't do more, then why did he get it? He's not a leader. You have to be able to drag everyone else into the fight. And there's guys that do it by example, and there's guys that do it by chatter. I don't know which he is.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting, and because you said the comparable to Sidney Crosby, that's not, and I agree with you. And it's maybe not fair to compare him to Patrice Bergeron either. But Bergeron was a guy. So he wasn't overly vocal. He wasn't overly physical, but he was clearly the leader of that team. And that guys like Marchand and everybody else would fall into step behind him. So what was it that made Patrice Bergeron the undisputed leader / captain of that team?
Well, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So again, that's a tough one.
Just his style of play,
though. Great leader.
We can't have any demands of our captain.
No, you can. But if you're expecting Michael Backlund to match up against first ballot Hall of Famers, it's going to be tough. That's
what I'm saying, Ryan, is that it's not like Bergeron would go out and start a scrap or cross-check guys, or he didn't have to score big goals. There was just something about him that he was the captain. He was the leader.
For how many years? Like 2? Yeah, he was great. I mean, it was a great team. There's a bunch of guys that'll be their faces are going to be on Front Street and Young and the Hall of Fame. Like, of course, he's not going to match up to Bergeron or Chara, or Sidney Crosby.
There's no expectations for Mike.
No, there's expectations, but let's set them reasonably. That's all.
Well, go ahead. What's reasonable?
Well, I would look at a team and not find one of the best 10 players of all time to compare him to in Sidney. And I wouldn't.
That's not an answer. You're just being a dickhead.
So I would go find a team that honestly, okay, we understand that this wasn't a bumper crop of candidates. It wasn't like picking between Chelios and Rob Blake and Nicholas Lidstrom and Mark Messier. We get that. We're not idiots. We know that that Michael Backlund isn't going to be a captain on any of the teams you've mentioned. We know that. But when Craig Conroy or Huska say we need a captain, go find a team with a similar personnel and say, who's their captain? How does he operate? Does it have to be, is it a similar style of player? How can Michael lead this group without asking him to be a player he's never been? I haven't played at the level. I don't know how much of that leadership thing matters or doesn't. We've heard both sides of it where like, it's just for the fans. It's just a fabric letter. And then you hear like, no, you need someone that's like, okay, here's how we're rolling. Here's the line of communications with the coach. But like, if we're going to lay this at Michael Backlund's feet that this team doesn't look good right now, I just feel like, God, we're missing the point on why this team is good.
And that was the point I wanted to make, is that we've kind of gone down this rabbit hole. And I think, to be clear, the fact that they're 2-3-1 is not on Michael. It's one of a number of things right now that just don't seem right with this hockey team. Now, if Backlund comes out and is fighting and everything tonight, which he won't, and nor should he, I don't think that changes who they are or that it guarantees a win. But the original point is that you really wanted this team to show some growth and change from a year ago, and there isn't any. And one of those changes has been going from no captain to having a captain. And there's
lots of similar things too. Like you could have the exact same conversation about Ryan Huska, be like, hey, we got a new coach. Why does it look the same? Like, hey, we got a new D system. Why is it still sloppy? Hey, you guys didn't like this old coach. Why are you playing better? Like, I don't have a problem with
we're asking those questions, are we not? We've talked about Backlund here for 10 minutes, but for the past few days, we've talked about it. What does Huska do? Is this D thing working? Outside of Markstrom and maybe Mangiapane, not many guys have elevated or raised their level of play. We are asking all of those questions. It's just one of more than a handful of things.
Yeah, there's about 6 or 7 things that have changed, and when the team looks the same and those changes were supposed to help you get better, you look at them all and say, why aren't they helping?
So, and it goes back to yesterday. So how do you start to pull yourself out of it?
And
individually, they have to be better. This would be one of those things. How does a captain try to help lead a team out? It doesn't mean they win tonight because he's a great leader, but I think it's part of it.
Yeah, and so if you're Jacob Trouba, the captain on the other side, you go out, you play a physical game, you hit people, you do your thing. You might get scored on, you might get some work on the second power play. You go be the best you can be. And why he's a leader versus just another guy on the team, the guys in the room will know, not people watching on TV necessarily. His style of play may be more conducive to being like, lead him into battle, but he obviously has to have the support and, I guess, trust of everyone there to be the captain. For Michael Backlund, you don't need him trying to throw heavy hits. You need him to play with great pace, shut down other teams' top lines, and penalty kill his ass off, keep his feet moving. So I think it's a more challenging thing to look at the TV and say, look at this guy lead. It might have a lot more to do with the dynamics in the room and how he operates with people, right?
I think that's exactly what Rhett's saying.
No, he said he's not a captain.
That's not what I said.
You just said that. If you
I don't think that Conroy and that. So we're saying 3 things here. My whole approach was they haven't played that well. They needed a captain. They got a captain named. Now's an opportunity for Michael Backlund to show why he's supposed to be the captain. I never said when I brought this up originally anything that Backlund's been terrible and we should strip him of the seat. That was not the point. The point of it all was this is a massive game. They just were terrible on the road. I don't think you can afford to come back and have another flat effort. This is a game where the captain needs to, I don't care how, find a way to drag his guys into it, whether it's in the room, through conversations, whether it's through example on the ice, and probably a combination of both. But
I'm on side with all that. That's totally fair. And look, I mean, someone just said it in the comments, like Backlund's a center on a third line. In the top 2 lines, it look like shit. Oof. Like I'm not giving him the cop out. I'm agreeing with everything you said, but I just saw the comment and you're like, yeah, it is kind of tough when all the guys that make more money on the team have been no good. That's tough.
So you have to make the most money to.
No, I'm just saying there's lots. Again, I'm not trying to be combative here at all, Rhett.
But I feel like the other thing is that we have, like we said, tried. We've actually tried to be passive about it and not be too ignorant and saying these guys look the exact same as last year and they're horseshit. Because really, that's the gist of it. We're only 6 in. Okay, yeah, don't overreact. Okay, fine. But what have you seen that's different? Not a whole lot. No. So we have asked What's Huska going to do? What's Savard going to do? Why is this new D system? We've asked all the other questions.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question includes, what's Backlund going to do about it?
Yeah,
because that is part of the role.
And I agree with you. Like, he's got to come out and be a guy that you're like, he's flying tonight. We got to follow him. It's just harder to do that when you play like Michael Backlund.
And maybe
Ryan Skrudland couldn't skate. He was the captain of our team in Florida, and there was no question about it. And he led by example, and he didn't have to score. Yeah. It was irrelevant, but his compete level was second to none.
There have been a lot of guys who have been a captain in the later stages of their career who don't play the most minutes or make the most money.
Totally. Yeah. We saw like Chris Clark and Todd Simpson be captains in this league. Like, those are some pretty bottom half of the roster, blue collar type guys, right?
So is that okay? And again, you're using those guys as kind of an ignorant
just because they're Flames. That's all.
Yeah. But to be a dick about it, is that what the results you want out of a Backlund? Is a Chris Clark captain?
No. I'm just thinking of guys in the bottom half of the roster that like to the points earlier are not superstars. Like, you can still do it, but how do you do it? And most of them are physical players, to be fair. And Michael has never really been that physical. I don't know that you want him to or not. I'm not sure.
Is that what you want out of a captain?
I mean, if it's part of your skill set, absolutely. If it's asking you to do something I hope not.
If you're picking a captain, say on you're the coach or whatever of a hockey team, what do you want out of a captain? Do you have that anywhere in your?
It doesn't have to be physicality, but I mean, I like physicality out of a captain. I think you want someone that sets your tone every day. Like, who is consistent, who shows up to work every day, who's a pro, who would you put a young player next to learn how to play the right way?
And he may well go into the room before the game and inspire the guys and have something to say. And we'll never know. And then if they win tonight, look, the team played better, then maybe he has a hand in that.
We won't know.
There's a lot into this that we don't know. Can I envision Michael standing up in front of the group? I can. I really can. I think that the players would take it to heart. I think that the guys do like him. I think they do respect him. But there is still, it's that the on ice portion. It's been pretty. He's not the only one, but he's on board with a team that doesn't look that invested here early. Across the board.
If anyone wants to tell me someone who's played well on that road trip outside of the fourth liners who your expectations are low for, and the goalie, I don't.
To me, that's just a cop-out answer where, he hasn't been the worst player. Well,
but his line's been their best, Rat. Like, sorry. Which line's been better than Backlund's line?
To what?
I just look at shots for and against when he's on the ice, scoring chances for and against when he's on the ice. How's the penalty kill doing? Like, it's their best line.
Well, you sound like some of the kids that play on my team, where they go and play on different spring teams and then they come back and play on a hockey team. They really don't give a shit if the team does well, but if they do well, it's all good.
That's not what I'm saying at all.
That's your answer.
That's not the point I'm trying to
make. He hasn't been the biggest issue is your answer. And I actually didn't even bring it up as an issue. I was saying this is his chance to put a stamp on why he's the captain. Go and prove.
Be great tonight. And to be fair, all these guys, go prove why you're NHLers tonight. Like,
and that's what it is, right? I think if fans feel this way, and again, we got way down this path, and I don't think we really intended to. It feels like this is not my Backlund's fault. What it is fans, and just please somebody grab a hold of this thing, because it is a big game. I agree with you, Red. This is a really big game. Because then you can play again on Thursday, and then it's the outdoor, and it's November.
You're an underdog at home. It's first game back. It's a goalie that has struggled against you traditionally, but is one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie in the world in the last 3 to 4 years. They've got waves and waves of talented players. They have game breakers, 2 lines full of them. You don't have a single game breaker, it seems, at this point of the season. It looks like you have a lot of second and third lines. They have a lot of first lines. This is going to be a challenge. And if you're going to play as shitty defensively as they have and turn over the puck like they have, you're toast unless Markstrom is going to be a demigod. And it's like, it's a big game because you want to see something a little more sustainable from this group in terms of structure, in terms of just playing with pace, and guys looking like they care. all those things need to improve.
We are going to be doing Afterburner tonight from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. I think stage bar. Do stage bar. Yep. Maybe up top. We'll see what happens. Maybe. Yeah, we're going to be doing our post-game show Afterburner at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino tonight. We'd like to see you there. Come by, have some chow, have a drink. Also, we are going to be this week giving away tickets to the Halloween Howler. Did I say Halloween Howler, which is coming up on the 28th. There it is. Billy Count, Gob, and the other one. I can't read that. What does that say? The convocation, right? Sure. Something like that. Either way, you just want to be there. You want to get there. We're going to have tickets to give away for the Howler coming up. The congregation. Thank you. October 28th, 8 p.m. Now you got to be 18 years of age. All right. General admission. So don't be looking for get in and have a time. And we are going to have some tickets to give away. Watch on social media. Watch on our Flames Nation Instagram and Twitter. That's how we give these boys away. And we'll be talking more about that later on tonight on Afterburner as the Flames take on the New York Rangers tonight. The New York Rangers have the highest pay in terms of cap hit. The largest cap hit in the NHL this season belongs to Artemi Panarin. 3 years left. His cap hit is $11,642,857. So just
more
north
than other players
of 11.6. He signed a 7-year deal, has 3 years left. How do you think it is when you're 4 or 5 years in and you're just making $11 million every single year? How was last year? I was 11 million. And this year, it's just another 11.
I got the highest?
No,
as far as cap hit.
McDavid's 12.5. You might be talking salary, Dean. That would make more sense.
He has so McDavid, only 2 players have a higher cap hit this season. He's the highest Ranger. So McDavid and McKinnon, because McKinnon is in year 1 of his new deal that kicks in. McDavid has at 12.5. He's got 3 years remaining. And the next one for Matthews kicks in next year because he's making $13,250. So he'll be the first guy north of 13 million.
Pass has got some big dough coming too.
What's the
he's getting paid appropriately. He's a superstar.
What's the McDavid contract going to be?
3 years left. So
if you're already at 13 and a quarter,
he's at 12.5. Yeah. So I would think he gets what he wants. Like, what are you going to do? Say no? Honestly,
right? What
so the max you can pay is 20% of the cap. So that's just a hair over what, $15-16 million at this point. 20% would be 16 of 80, so it's a little higher than 8. So let's call it 16 and change. He can take all of it, but there's going to be all this idiotic pressure on him to take less to surround him with more talent. But yet a guy like Darnell Nurse gets paid $3 million over market. Like, why should Connor take less so that other guys can get overpaid? That doesn't make sense. Shouldn't you take the pay cut to play with Connor?
Yes, that's exactly it.
It depends on what he wants. If he wants to make max, he'll make the max. We've never seen a max salary in the NHL. 20% of cap is max. We haven't seen it. So if he wants it, what are they going to do? Say, no, we need less? Okay, cool. Like, and if they don't, whatever he wants is what he's going to make.
And then just outside the door, there's just a line of GMs. Well, we'll give it to you.
Well, honestly, who wouldn't? Who would not?
Because
who would not
do that for you?
Like, if you have to pay him what Kadri and Huberdeau are making combined, would you do it? Yes, you would.
So yeah, I fucked that. So does Artemi Panarin? Do you feel? And again,
he's a superstar. He's great.
4 years into this deal at that 11 million. How have they gotten their money out of it? What have the Rangers been for the 4 years or 3 years of this deal where they've paid him near league max?
They've come out of that season ticket holder letter. We suck. We need to rebuild, and they've been a contender type team. They're great. I mean, this is a good free agent signing. This is not Seth Jones getting 10 or 9.5. This isn't Darnell Nurse getting 9.25. This isn't even like Onze and Drew Doughty getting the money they're getting. They're fine, but like he's awesome. One of the it's like Kucherov. Like I see these guys in the same box.
I think if you went and watched the Rangers, you'd realize how good he is.
Yeah. And it's like, he he went to the biggest market, got huge money, and he's still Artemi Panarin. I see no like, well, he's not it's not that at all yet. Good sign.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with the player, and I don't even really have a problem with the contract. I don't really give it. I just wonder, what were the expectations when we're going to sign this guy? When are we going to be making it to round 2 and 3 and moving forward?
Is he getting for him?
Well, say that again.
What kind of point production is he on a year-to-year basis? I feel like
let's pull it up. I mean, God, if he's not flirting with 90 or 100 last year, that would have felt crazy.
I just wonder this team, because you think they've got Adam Fox on the back end, elite.
Yep.
You've got Panarin. You got Zibanejad, who last year, 20 power play goals. 20 of his 39 came on the man advantage. You know, Chris Kreider is a power play guy as well. There's real reason to, and like you say, with Shesterkin and net, have they underperformed a little bit given the
last year
they did last year. They had Jersey on the
Jersey
ropes.
down 2-0.
Couldn't put him away. I mean, he's got mid-90s in points for 3 out of the 4 years. The 1 year where there was only 42 games because of the COVID.
Yeah,
so,
like they're a contender. They're a top 5 team in the NHL. Like I put them in that group with Colorado, Dallas, Edmonton before a slow start, Carolina, Toronto. Like they're there. Elite goalie, great depth, tons of playmaking game breakers. Like this is a very good hockey club. Did they underperform last year? Yeah. Did Vegas miss the playoffs the year before they win the cup? Yeah. Like it's a crazy tournament. Weird shit happens.
Well, Jersey's not that tough or easy and out either.
No, that's a good team.
Good team.
So would this be a team this is win now type?
Oh
stuff?
Yeah.
So there's pressure here on Drury and
Patrick
everybody.
Kane coming in last year and didn't obviously work out, but they're for sure in the win now mode.
Yeah.
The nice thing for teams like the Rangers too, though, is that they can throw some draft picks away and they're a desirable location to play.
Rangers. Nice when a Norris Trophy caliber defenseman says, "Yeah, I just want to sign with you guys. I really don't want to.
I'm only going to play for you.
Just you. You were the pajamas I wore as a kid, so we're going to do that.
I'd like to play.
They lost in the conference finals 2 years ago. Christ.
Yeah.
It's been good with Panarin there.
And look,
that's part of the problem. Sorry, I was going to say this 17 times. The problem for the Flames is that they can play well tonight and still.
Yes. You could play your best game and lose because there's just way more talent on the other side. When you compare these two top lines or just the power play unit, like it's stark.
And your best defense is out.
I was going to say, have we heard anything about Rasmus Anderson? Rasmus Anderson, any?
Frank walked through it. That was
Did Gary come out today and say,
"No"?
Is it 4?
Oh my goodness! Sorry.
Oh, guys, Connie. I'm sorry, man.
I got to talk with George Peros. Man, he's doing a crappy job. That guy that I hired to do that job.
Sure,
I really should embarrass him here and change the suspension.
4? Oh,
guys,
I got to talk to George. George,
get in here.
Tell Depot to sharpen his skates up. Let him play tonight. He's going to get out there. Let him go play.
He's not playing tonight.
Vina Nova is Calgary's lab-grown diamond specialist, the only store in Calgary that specializes exclusively in lab-grown diamonds. You're starting to see the ads, aren't you? I said it last week. Oh, look at here on Monday Night Football. Oh, look at here. It's a lab-grown. Oh, yeah. Justin at Vina Nova. He's been telling you about this for a while, folks. They have their downtown showroom. When you walk into Vina Nova, you know that everything in there is lab-grown. You are getting amazing. The value in lab-grown is why it's... And, I mean, let's be honest. For guys like us, that's awesome. That you can have 75%, 80% off of what you would pay for those other diamonds. When you walk in there, it's all lab grown. The quality is as good or better than the mined diamonds in many cases, same chemical composition. Go and see Justin. Go online at vinanova.com. We're getting close to Christmas. If you want something that's kind of custom, you want to make and design your own thing, they can do that for you, but get after it because time is ticking. Or if you're just, more of a normal guy, just go in, something nice, please. They're going to be able to pick something and help you down. So what is she like? What do you like? This sort of thing. It's what they do, is help dummies like us. Vina Nova, the second floor of the Stephen Avenue Place and online at vinanova.com. And I know that we're just doing that again this year, hey? for our Christmas gifts. Yeah.
Worked so well last year.
Please.
Justin, help us. Please, God.
Save Christmas, would you?
Do you think guys walk in there on the 23rd and 24th just, oh, God, you please help me. Oh, God, help, please. Okay, come in. Would you like a tea or something? Yeah, I need some tea and a gift. Oh, God. Time for the Pinder Report, a presentation of Village Honda. Huge selection of used vehicles, pre-owned even. All makes, all models, all budgets, over 70 units on site, access to more than 400 more inside their dealership group. It makes Village Honda your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They are worth the trip. Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall presents the Pinder Report.
Falls game day tonight, as we talked about, the unusual 7:40 start time for our American friends. They like it really late in New York City, Dean. So we're going to push it back to 9:40 Eastern time for the New Yorkers so they can be happy. We'll deal with it.
Thanks a lot.
Put on our winter boots and our jackets. We'll trudge into the darkness, and we'll do this for you, American friends, but just this once. This year so far. Frozen Frenzy, south of the border. Exciting.
Frozen Frenzy.
What a frenzy it could have been if we
It's not frozen here.
had it televised in Canada. Let's go to the lines. Calgary Flames had the old shuffle for their Sunday flop against Detroit. And if you ever thought you'd see Ruzicka and Coronado on the top line together, well, your prayers were answered. Oh, dear.
We got two Coronados in there, which is amazing.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy. It's actually
double shifting.
It's the man they're missing would be Mangiapane on that third line, and he would swap wings with Coleman, as Coleman always plays his off wing with Mangiapane. Yeah, that's not a top line in the NHL. Sorry, fellas. It just isn't. And that second line, boy, they sure look like players on paper 2 years ago. Put your problem children together on the line. Is that what we're doing here?
Can you make a top line with, like, if Lindholm, he can be a top line center, can he?
Yeah, he just needs top line wingers. So who do they have if Huberdeau's not going to be good?
Come on, let's let the kid succeed here. Let's put him in a spot to succeed. It's the other side. I'm wondering if there's
poor Rosie.
And Rooch has been fine. It's not a Rooch problem. It's an indictment of everyone else around Rooch on the left side there.
The rest of you are horseshit.
I'm kind of selling my Rooch stock, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
He's
the nickname. I thought it peaked last fall. He had that nice 8-game run or whatever. You're like, wow, Rooch, look at you. And then Daryl put him in the freezer for 3 months.
You talk about Depot sharpening skates. I feel like he needs to sharpen Rosie's skates because he's very tippy.
Who else was like that? We've
had some top heavy fellows. David Moss was that way.
Moss was tippy. Okay.
Very tippy.
Yeah.
It's like one of those clown things that the Boppa clown things. Like, whoa, yeah, one of those, back up. Whoa, look at me.
So those big tent people up at Village Honda.
That's right.
Big sales. Like, woo, come by.
No, seriously, quit. Enough Rooch talk.
What?
Like, he's not supposed to be there.
No,
I know, but we got to look at the lineup here. What can we do? These guys need help, Pinder.
They fucking
these rookie coaches don't have a clue. We got to help these people.
Enough of us criticizing. Let's have some answers.
Yes.
Okay. So here's an idea, friends. Here's an idea. The guy that's never played center and that you brought in a trade for Toffoli doesn't have to play on the fourth line as a center.
That's a good point, actually.
And you know what?
Try with him with Lindholm and Coronado. Add some pace there.
Yes. Double shift and Coronado here is not the answer either when you look at these lines.
Is that Frank doing these on Daily Faceoff? Come on, Frank, be better.
Yeah, you could.
Like, that's a guy I want. You're seeing more of him. He flies. He's got a heavy shot. He ripped one off the crossbar in the shootout. You're like, yes, okay, there's tools. Put those tools next to some skill.
If Sharon Govich could be that, then you're talking.
Honestly.
Then you're talking.
Okay, Sharon Govich, Lindholm, Coronado. What does that look like? There's some pace there for Elias.
I like it better than what it is.
And then we put
then let Rosie
put Rosie back there. That'll happen. You wait. By the end of the first, that's what's going to happen.
What about Walker Durer with Huberdeau and Kadri? That's your new fourth line. Oof.
Fourth line.
I mean,
go
results.
Playing in the Coronado spot on the third line.
Manch. And I honestly, like, that line keeps coming back together. When coaches don't know what to do, they just put Backlund, Coleman, Mangiapane together again. We saw it in the playoffs against Dallas. We're seeing it here early.
Do you want that? It's
just a line you trust that always wins.
But maybe Mangiapane. I like Coleman and Backlund together, and we discussed Backlund plenty today already. But Mangiapane maybe should be considered a higher threat option.
I agree. Yeah. I do agree. I think that he right now looks like one of your best options of scoring goals.
Like put Dubé down one and move Manj up.
Swap those
at least. Like Dubé shouldn't sink the Backlund line, and Mangiapane should be a better offensive threat with Kadri and Huberdeau than Dubé.
Yeah, whatever it is, it ain't this. That's my bet, fellas.
Free Sharon Govich. That's what we're saying.
Yes.
Free Yegor.
Free Yegor. Free him. Free shirts tonight.
Shirts. Hashtags.
Speaking of shirts, blue shirts look like this, fellas. They've got the kids moving up. There was lots of talk. Where's Lafreniere? What's going on with Kako? Well, they're playing in the top two lines, and it's looking a lot better. Also, the unsung hero here is Philip Hedl, who's had a monstrous last season and change here. He's been great for the Rangers. He's playing with Panarin and Lafreniere, and it's Kako up top with Zibanejad and Kreider.
Panarin had, Ryan, he had 2 goals against the Kraken on Saturday. Hedl had 3 assists. That line's been good for them.
And they finally they had Hedl, Lafreniere, and Kako together most of last year. The kid line, those kids. What about those kids? What about the kids? Can they take a step? If this works, look out for the Rangers. A little more depth.
Kako.
Decor looks like this, fellas, for the Ranger. It's Adam Fox, never heard of him. Keandre Miller, nice campaign last year. Trouba, the heavy hitter. Remember his hit out of the All-Star break seemed to fire up the Flames, but then it never really did turn into a turning point. And then Rasmus Andersson got hit by a truck. Not great. And there's our old pal Eric Gustafsson, who Dean, you forgot was in the league last year.
I was going to say that's your pal. When I was looking at it last night, you'll be very excited.
I mean, he's full on Zadorov experience without the physicality. It's like we're scoring or they're scoring. Someone's scoring because Gustafsson's on the ice. Very little interest in defending, all kinds of interest in scoring goals. He's a high event player, we call him.
That's what it is. High event.
High event player. Never boring. He is not a wet blanket. He is a match in gasoline. The Flames decor, Jack, if we can go back a little, we'll take a peek at that without Rasmus Andersson. Worth a look. No, that's my fault. Just trying to help him. Hanifin and Tanev together as Tanev slides up into the Rasmus Andersson spot, and they've kept the Uyghur Zadorov pairing together. And then a third pairing that has a couple number 6s there in Gilbert and Austin.
Unless Gary phones today and says he's sorry.
Gary's not giving him 1 game. Sorry. That ain't it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help.
I appreciate the glass half full that you bring us on a daily basis.
I'm looking for answers.
Here's Ryan Pike on more of that. Answers on how long this takes. Pike bomb. Here's all the incidents that Gary Bettman has had to hear appeals upon. There was a Spezza back in 2021. There was a Marchand in 22. There was a Niederreiter in 22, and now Rasmus Andersson in 23. There's a lot of numbers there. Point being, he takes a sweet-ass time. There might be 3 games already served before we hear Gary's appeal ruling.
He's a busy man. He's running a whole league.
And he's also like, hey, I put this department in. They do the job. You don't like it? I really don't have a lot of time for it.
Does it have the results of the appeals? Did Spezza get some pulled back? I feel like he did.
Spezza got 1 game knocked off, as I recall. And I honestly don't know the other 2.
Marchand in February of 2022. So that's 2.5 years ago.
But you're right. He's very busy.
Yeah.
You know, he's got that puck doku to take care of every day.
Yeah. He's got he's
Frozen Frenzy is on. Frozen Frenzy is on today. What are you going to do? Not watch?
Yeah. It's true. Let's go to some NHL news. Speaking of Frozen Frenzy, here's the slate. A lot of games. No 2 games starting at the same time. And if you live in the largest, most hockey fanatic country in the world, you can't see it. Thanks, Sportsnet. Do go down to the States. Drive south until you get to the USA and watch this on ESPN, folks. 6, 6:30, 6:45, 7, 7:15, 7:30, 7:40. You see what I'm doing here? It's like almost every 15 minutes, basically from 4 o'clock Calgary time.
I'm not getting the Flames game.
You're not, eh?
It's on MSG. He's hooped. We got a secret move for you, right? We can't talk about it on the air. Okay. No. Okay. Very good. Very good.
Don't tell Gary.
No, don't tell Gary. Gary can screw off with this nonsense. How about Gary? You've spent all year promoting this crap. Tell your pals at Sportsnet to pick it up.
Hey, Gary,
what the hell's going on here?
Figure out what a goal and a goal isn't, right? Like,
that's too hard. We've been trying that for 15, 20 years. They still haven't figured that out since you got screwed in 2 different
Skate was
Cup
in the
finals.
crease, Gary.
Oh, it is a goal. Oh, that's not a goal, but that one is. This
parallax angle. Let's move to Major League Baseball. You know what would hurt, Rhett, more than bonking Gary on the head? How about a fastball from Aroldis Chapman on the inside of your knee at 104 miles?
It's hard to control.
Wouldn't it be nice if he had to hit and then people could lose control when he was in the batter's box?
You know what? It's but at least the Astros came back to win, so it was worth it.
Sacrifice.
I was going to say that, and in fact, that didn't happen. But it's just a shame when you see a team that does everything the right way, get hit by a pitch from another team. Because if there's,
I don't think it was Chaz
model of how you're
any of
supposed
that. I
to
don't
play. I just, for those fans who've watched Houston do things the right way for so long, that's got to sting. Shame. No repeat with Houston out. There will again be no back-to-back World Series winner. Of all the 4 sports in the USA and Canada that we watch on TV regularly, it's the longest stretch without a back-to-back champ since the Yankees were good, Dean, which has got to be at least 20 years ago.
Roughly that.
To 2000. Yankees won 3 in a row. There's been no back-to-back winners since. Wild.
So
longest drought.
Be Golden State in basketball, right?
Sure, yeah.
The most recent bark to bark.
Patriots strung a few together for sure.
Yeah.
And then you just saw Tampa and Pittsburgh go back-to-back in the last 10 years, didn't you?
The Lightnings and the Penguins.
The Penguin.
I like it when it spreads around. Let everybody have some fun.
We're talking about championships still? Spread it around.
Just spread it around.
What you do right then, you just leave your garage door open if that's your philosophy. Just a foot. Tonight, let's take a look. Dean, it's a 3-3 series score.
Why do you keep talking?
Tonight is game 7. It is a 6:07 start between the D-backs and the Phillies.
Well, thank goodness we don't have Frozen Frenzy to take up our time. We can watch some baseball. Thanks, Gare.
Thanks. And honestly, it's not Gare. It's some suits in Toronto that are some telecom pissy match.
Thanks a lot, Keith Pelly.
No, he's been gone for ages. He's working on the European Golf Tour. Good try, though, Dean. Who else? Any other names?
Scott Moore. Thanks a lot, Scott Moore. Julie Adam.
On this, no, they've all been fired. Don't worry about that. Julie's in radio. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ.
Thanks a lot, Kelly Kirsch.
It's not Kirsch.
Prick.
Let's move along.
There's only so many we can show. The league controls
now.
So
there's a bit of a conflict with the Ontario regional rights. Yeah. Jack, do we have the George Kittle or no? I'm not sure. We'll use it tomorrow if we don't have it today.
Negative. We do not have it.
So it's like America Funniest Home Videos. It's that kind of comedy. It's evergreen. We'll just use it tomorrow, which is great. We move forward to the Canadian Premier League. More hardware nominations for the Cavs who are playing in the league championship this Saturday in the Hammer. What's the weather like out there, Rhett? It's going to be nice this weekend?
Beautiful here.
Ali Musi, a finalist for the Players Player of the Year. Haters hate, players play. All right.
Backlund.
And
players play. Let's go.
Dan Klomp, the Flying Dutchman.
Players
play. Players player.
Something else the other day.
Yeah, defender.
Clippity Clomp.
He's been good. And is Dawn? Is that how you say it, Dean? It's like Dawn down
Dawn.
in
Delta Dawn. What's that flower you have on?
Okay, thank you. CFL. Here's your playoff tree, right? Look at this. Beautiful stuff.
Go.
Wow.
It's
the Stampeders got to go right back to where they started. Oh, they're doing the lines wrong. That sucks.
Doesn't look.
Shouldn't the lines touch each other when they play? Jesus, CFL, can you do a bracket? My freaking 6-year-old was doing brackets. Look at this. The line should touch if they're playing. What are you doing?
Idiot.
Jesus. Can you do a bracket?
This is the best CFL thing ever.
Now, do we know that's...
the 2 lines will come into the box. No, they play each other.
Oh, my God. Both teams advancing to Winnipeg.
And then the next round, they get it right, where the lines actually, they play each other. BC Calgary, winner goes to Winnipeg. Maybe both teams are going to Winnipeg, and they will
being
both
the
put an all-star
CFL.
team together, and they'll play the Bombers.
Yeah, do the Bombers get to choose? Is this
No. They make an all-star team because they're not as good as the Bombers. And then it'll be the best of the Red Blacks and the Ticats playing the Arc.
You know what, Ryan? I don't like the way you...
Can't wait.
I don't like your tone when it comes to the Canadian
They're a
Football League.
6-win
I don't
playoff
like it.
team. They got to gang up with the Lions to make a team.
See, if I criticize Backlund, it's no good, but he takes cheap shots at the CFL
Just
all the
cheap
time.
shots, and you know what?
I won't stand for it.
Where's
Maybe
that
their social media
CFL
team
hat?
Is 5 because when my kids were 6, they're doing brackets.
I'm so glad you pointed it out because when that came up, I'm like, what
are they doing with these? So they're both going to Toronto?
Now, is there any chance we are getting this wrong?
No,
because they've been making brackets
why
forever.
is the next one
That's why
then?
it's CFL. Brackets have been around since the CFL started in 1748. They still managed to screw it up in 2020.
Can we get John Bender on the phone? Because maybe Bender can.
Can we get Larry Wright on the phone? Who are some of the old commissioners? Who was the guy that was the commissioner for like 15 minutes? He's like, I watch the league on TV all the time as a kid. Like, no, they weren't televised in New York. You're lying.
Yeah,
to
no,
us.
you're not. That's not true at all.
You're lying to our faces.
Yeah.
Let's welcome the new commissioner, everyone.
But I used to work at Adidas. Yeah, I know you did, but that doesn't matter now.
We are missing a Riders hat in your backdrop. Is it because you're at work, or have you abandoned the club that you loved and you had the gopher cart and all that? What's the story?
South of the border, they won't get to let it across.
No,
Gainermobile?
Yeah.
Here's your boy, Rod Peterson, on the Riders, something he knows very well. They've taken the CFL's flagship marquee franchise and turned it into the worst team in the league. Oof. Craig Dickinson not given a new contract yesterday. Somebody O'Day did stay, not the reliever for the Orioles, Darren.
If you want conspiracy or to ruin the league, just by all means, continue to have the Riders operate.
Somebody O'Day.
Well, it's not Darren. He's a lefty for the Orioles.
That's right.
Not him. They might take him.
We're doing
he knows what a bracket looks like.
Sports program, and you're disparaging this league. You're taking you're taking shots.
Very excited for week 21.
Let's see there.
That's what week it is this week.
See,
who's on bye?
Hey, CFL, have a great weekend. Playoffs are coming. It's going to be great in Hamilton. Great end to a great CFL season is coming up. Very exciting.
Playoff weather. Here we go. NBA, big money for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Greek freak, Rhett. How much do you think he makes in a 3-year deal? If you guessed $186 million, you'd be absolutely correct.
So we shouldn't get too wound up about
Connor will get 16.
Did you say 3-year? Oh.
3 years, 186.
Yes.
Gary's done a great job increasing revenues. Oh, yeah? How's his competitors done? 186 over 3. Woo. And yes, I know basketball rosters are smaller than hockey ones. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's not apples to apples. I'm sorry.
You dummy.
This is awkward. I was at a party the other day trying to do a party trick, and
keep your clothes on.
It didn't go well. We're all sitting around a table outside. I'm like, pass me that bottle of Bacardi. We just finished sipping Crown. I think here we are. Let's have a look. Oh dear. That happens. You can't be the life of the party without screwing up a party. 1 out of every 100. Dear.
You're gonna have to pay for that.
Yeah, I know.
You smashed the entire tabletop.
Use that slush fund on booze. That's the problem. Now, boom, this is you in the basement. You never leave, but you don't mind the old home fix-it project. You're doing faucets the other day. You fixed your toilet this summer. Now you're trying to work at something on the roof here. And I don't know that a chainsaw was the right tool. Let's take a peek. Oh no. I'm surprised I didn't cut you right open, Dino.
Oh my God.
How quickly is that coming at you? Oh,
for those that are just listening, he's got the chainsaw, and I don't know what he's doing. He's right at the top of the wall where the wall and ceiling meet. He takes this chainsaw and friggin' hits it and it kicks back and hits him right in the forehead.
Square in the forehead.
Cuts his nose right off.
That's going to leave a mark, I'm thinking.
My idiot father almost sliced me open with one of those.
Oh, DUG. You know what? There's nothing. Chainsaws are the best until they're the worst. Because there's nothing like that when you're cutting up some trees down, you're getting it into the right size for firewood, and you're splitting it all up, getting wood ready for the winter, getting a cord or two ready for the winter. Hey. And then the blade gets stuck and it snaps and the chain breaks and then
crap.
God damn it.
So we got a video of Boom in the basement. There's me at the party. Rhett, is this Razor's pool? Because I see you on the roof here. You're going to jump in. Let's take a look.
Love swimming. Big swim.
Yeah. This is no good.
So dude goes, he's standing on, it's like a little kind of a pool house.
It's on the roof.
Dude is standing on the roof.
That is definitely my build.
He's taking like step 1, 2, 3, and then goes to plant himself at the edge of the roof and jump into the pool. Except
watch impact.
He misses, clips his heels on the eaves trough.
And it's a face
slams face first into the concrete, just shy of entering the pool. The aliens don't even find it funny anymore.
That is like, how does that not ruin the rest of your life? An impact like that to your head?
That very well could have.
Because like getting punched in the head is one thing. Like getting clipped by a mirror. Like this is concrete from 15 feet
that's
on your head.
Reconstruction and brain damage right there. That is not.
And he actually fared worse than dude with the chainsaw. You'd probably actually, if you had the choice, I'll take the chainsaw, I guess.
Yeah, and after seeing both, yeah, for sure you would. Chainsaw guy got away with it somehow.
Where are you finding all this?
And finally, it's that time of year. We're a week away, so there's no excuses. Make sure your bats are all shined up. Okay, it's Halloween, right? 31st. You still have that in the States, right? What do you think of these guys, Dino? If you don't like kangaroos, what do you think about these cute little bastards?
We had bats in our neighborhood when I was a kid.
Past tense? Okay, yeah. Growing up.
Yeah. And you could hear, they make a unique noise when they're flying around.
Flapping.
It's like, oh God.
That's quite something, eh?
Yeah, bats are no. Although, you want bats because they eat the mosquitoes and they eat the bugs, so you're happy to have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is bats poop poisonous?
Honestly, they only come out when it's dark and they eat insects. That's perfect. They want nothing to do with humans. But they are a little freaky. They can't see. They're using radar, and it's basically just some skinny little bones and a wing. And that looks like a tiny llama with wings on it.
And Adam Sandler in Hotel Transylvania, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good bet.
And wavy. I love this says, that's what you want bats to be.
How's the Halloween decorations going, fellas? Brett, I'm sure the neighborhood's completely upside down.
Neighborhood looks good. The Warner house lacking. Very lacking.
We've sketched out some pumpkins, Dean. The carving goes today. Last night, sketching, getting them all mocked up. Knife comes out tonight.
Chainsaw?
No. Pairing.
Okay.
That's your Pinder Report. China Beer Bats.
Brought to you by Village Honda. New in-stock inventory on the ground. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda. New vehicle pricing is MSRP. And this is the time, if you were thinking, I'm going to go to Village, maybe take a vehicle out for a test drive, this is when you want to do it. You don't want to do it when
no.
20 degrees and everything's great. No. This is when it's a little bit treacherous and you really want to see how that new or pre-owned Honda is going to handle the elements. Get up there today. Have yourself a coffee, talk to Anthony about cavalry and F1 and Ruud van Nistelrooy.
That's right.
And then hop into an Accord, take it for a rip. Village Honda, your dealership for life.
That's when someone tells you like you should see this thing handle on 20 degrees dry pavement, dry asphalt. Oh, it's a dream, Dean. No, you want to see it in the elements.
Yeah. This is the day. For sure you do it. Get up
so
there.
It works on dry asphalt. You don't say, huh?
Yeah, weird. It probably goes without saying, Ryan.
Yeah.
But I guess if we're in Canada, it's maybe not as straightforward. But for DoorDash, a little what's on the menu. Restaurants, grocery, pharmacies, bakeries, flower shops, and more. It's DoorDash. They're making your life simple. It's convenience, people. All you need to do, it's super easy. You've done it. But if by chance you have it, if you don't have the DoorDash app, there's never been a better time, because listen up. You get the DoorDash app on your phone. Choose what you want from where you want. Your items will be left safely outside your door. Default contactless delivery setting. And for a limited time, our listeners and viewers get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the app and enter the code NATION25, NATION25. So free at 25%. And all you got to do is spend 15 and it shows up at your door. Thank you, DoorDash.
2 numbers.
Thank you,
Nation
DoorDash.
25.
Nation25 is the code. You have to put that code in there, or the deal's not going to work for you. And you got to be in Canada. Sorry, Rhett. Offer valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms apply. But that's the DoorDash deal for today. What's on the menu? If we're going to be doing some DoorDash at home tonight, feels like a great DoorDash day. What are we going to do? What are we watching?
Yeah, absolutely. With this weather, are you kidding me? Hell yeah. So Rhett gets the Frozen Frenzy. We get the Nation 25 discount. Seems fair. We're going D-backs Phillies, buddy. Game 7. Winner goes to the World Series. Someone's breaking out the champagne tonight. We saw the Rangers celebrate on Astros turf last night. Who will win tonight? Frank and his dad were at the game last night. It's a 6:07 first pitch. D-backs Phillies. I like game 7s. I especially like go to the World Series if you win this game 7s. Last night was not close. Let's hope this is more of a nail biter. Brandon Pfaadt against Ranger Suarez. All right. 6:07. That's what
game 7.
Dash that. What are we eating today?
Dash that
soupy.
for the win.
I've got
warm,
it.
some hot.
I know I can't get the fancy deal up there, but I can get the DoorDash down here, and I'm going with Johnny C's Deli. I'm going with a quart. It's 32 ounces of chili with cheese and onions, and a number 41 Pittsburgh style sandwich, mayo, oil, tomato, coleslaw, fries, provolone. That's has the chopped beef and cheese on it. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Nice.
Mouth is sweating. Thanks, Rhett.
One last time. Nation25 is the promo code. 25% off your order of $15 or more and 0 delivery fees. Download that DoorDash app. Dash that for the win. Woo! And you don't need an excuse, right? You don't need. We put Pinder to the test every day. Hey Ryan.
Do you want to hear a funny story about actually what happened to me on Friday night?
Do I ever?
I love Friday night stories.
The DoorDash.
Yeah.
So on Friday, the shoveler and I went out with Robert Ray and his lovely significant other.
Swap?
Yeah, we were sharesies. Back door.
It's not swapping. You're all in the same bed, Dean.
Yeah, and the fences share and all that stuff. We might as well. Anyway, go to some nice restaurants. So we leave the kids at home. I ordered them some burgers and had those delivered. And when Mom and Dad had been here, I was going to order some Thai food and didn't realize that I ordered that as well. So I had about $170 worth of Thai food
US
at my house when I got home from going out for dinner.
Oh, right.
Pad Thai for breakfast, anyone?
Thai food, leftover Thai food? So good. The flavors just continue to marry. So good. Yeah.
That's a move. What's your move today, Dino? A quart of chili, just perfect in Calgary today. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, again, I've told you it's probably Vietnamese soup. And I can't tell you from where because I don't want you to go there. Sorry. And their spring rolls are maybe the best spring rolls I've ever had. And you have a lot of them, right?
That's the deep fried ones, not the the salad rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The salad rolls are kind of have a hard time with those. But spring rolls, so good. So good.
It's good.
And the little kind of it's like a sauce, but it's so thin, right? Like that kind of, you know what I mean?
Vinegary sweet. Yeah.
Delicious. You know what I did, Retro? Oh, and Ryan, but I think this will. So last year or earlier this year, I can't remember, got a new stove because my stove was a piece of shit. So got a new stove, and it's the induction top. Yeah, right. Induction. Convection's the oven with the induction. But you need certain cookware to go with it. So the pots and pans and frying pans that I had, they were all fine. You need like a thicker kind of a stainless steel or a metal base on it for it to work, to induct. And induction's awesome because it's so fast. It's so fast. And then you take the thing off and your top isn't hot. It's science.
Magic.
You know? But I found out one chilly day last year that my beloved soup pot didn't work on the induction.
No.
What? So I had to like scale back my portions, and I had to make less.
You go buy one of those one-off burner things.
But here's the thing. So I have gone out and last weekend purchased my new soup pot.
Oh, attaboy.
Have you made soup in it yet?
Not yet.
Wow,
son.
Pretty
excited. On
a snowy day in Calgary.
Yeah. I did a lot of, as you know me, I'm online. I'm doing a lot of research, looking at the reviews and how's it working?
It's got to be right.
This one's highly rated. They aren't giving them away, but it's highly rated.
Have you seen those guys that do the cast iron steaks and then they put like a brick of butter
on top?
And then I'm doing that tomorrow.
And then you do the basting.
Yeah, I'm doing
with
that
with the
you and butter
in there.
Yeah,
great friends.
Oh, I keep watching it online. I'm like, I must do this.
Do you know who Matty Matheson is?
No.
He's a chef from Toronto. He, if you watch him on YouTube, kind of funny guy. Anyway, chef, and he has a fry pan that is kind of designed for that, so that when you tip it forward to do the basting, the back edge, the back lip is higher, so you have a higher kind of a backboard, if you will, for the basting when you're putting that butter on there.
Got some lineup notes from the Dome, fellas. I hate to interrupt Soup Talk.
Were they listening?
Huge changes.
Like, were they listening?
Seismic changes. Dryden Hunt in, AJ Greer out.
I was going to say, I need some more Dryden Hunt in my life. Let's go.
Yeah, well, he's a Calgary boy, kind of. So, let him play.
NHL experience. He had a good camp, except for a couple turnovers. But let's go. Come on. What about
Greer, but I want to see what Hunt can do. He's a little less disturber when he's good. And a former Ranger. He was on that team that went all the way to the conference finals 2 years ago.
Totally
didn't
motivated.
Play a ton after the trade deadline because they added some bodies. But he'll be fired up to see his old mates.
Did they free Yegor?
No, there's no lines. It's an optional skate, so that's all we know. We see a working hard late with AJ Greer, and a Hunt is going to be in.
How long a drive in would it be if you had to go to the Dome and then leave?
Oh, just to skate? Yeah, that's a great call.
Back.
Oh, yeah, come ride the bike for 20 minutes so I can sit still in my car for 45. What are we doing here, fellas?
Really loosened up.
Yeah, this is great. I feel super limber. That I got rear-ended. I kind of fixed that kink in my neck. That was perfect.
So something we haven't talked about? Yesterday on the show, we were talking about Noah Hannafin. Do you sign Hannafin? Well, if you get this, I like Hannafin. Don't mind Hannafin. Get a deal done. Sure, why not get a deal done? Hannafin is talking to the media later today. Well, let's get ready. Let's prognosticate as to what the contract is going to be. Noah Hannafin essentially came out and said, no, I think they're talking. I'll tell you when there's something to tell you. Weird.
I don't mind if Connie wants to get sort of something in place that he can either act on or pivot from, but I don't want to see a signing in the next week here. And there's a lot of insiders suggesting that is what's going to happen.
Continue the conversations.
Yeah, get a firm number in mind. Like he will say yes to this. Okay, now let's see if this team's good.
And drag your feet.
Like American Thanksgiving is that date, isn't it, Dino? Where you kind of
that's what Elliot says, and who knows what Elliot? I mean,
I just mean it's like if you're legitimately bad at that point, what are your odds of making the playoffs?
Yeah, the math shows
very low.
American Thanksgiving, if you're on the wrong side, you got some real work to do.
Yeah, and if you're 1 point out, sure, but if you're 5 out by then,
yeah. I guess it was just weird that Noah Hannafin's going to talk today. Well,
felt like news, didn't it?
So if you better be there for that. And then he didn't really say anything. But I'm led to believe, as I think maybe you are too, that, yeah, this is, if anything, maybe a little surprised that there was an announcement yesterday.
You want me to reach out and get some
that there is something, I don't want to say imminent, because things can go sideways, but it does feel like there's going to be a deal here, doesn't it?
As we said on the show yesterday, Elliot, quote, "I'd be surprised at this point if it doesn't get done," end quote.
5.5.
5.5.
Wasn't that what he said about Backlund?
4.95. That's what.
I see. Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, that's
2
right.
years, 5.5.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a value deal, but he's also a guy that you're not as worried about the last half of the deal because of his age and how well he skates. It's funny. The NHL just started this new website. They've released a bunch of the player tracking data, fastest shots, how quickly guys are moving. Hanifin has the highest speed recorded as a defenseman. So if you're like, yeah, he really can skate, like that validated. Not that we really needed that validation, but it was interesting. Like, okay, faster than everyone. Wow.
He would be one of those guys that you would miss him if he were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you only want him gone if your team is not going in. You don't want it. First of all, you don't want him gone. The only reason you want him gone is because what you're getting in return is a basket of goods that you're very excited about.
What you don't want is to lose him for nothing. That would be the worst case scenario. Don't do that. Noah Hanifin is valuable, and things you could trade Noah Hanifin for would also be very valuable. What's not valuable is a hand of air. That's what you would get if he leaves on July 1 as a free agent.
And as you said, Rhett, yesterday, if the deal is not so outrageous, you can sign him as, okay, could you have got something great in a trade? Potentially, but maybe you couldn't have. We're led to believe there were not very many good offers, if any, in the summer. So you sign him. Not to say that in a year or two down the road, you're revisiting we need to tear this thing down. You can still trade him at that point.
Hope. Yeah.
Or keep him.
Or still keep him.
Again, they have 3 defensemen under contract in the entire organization. One's in the American League, and the other 2 are Uyghur and Anderson.
You could be in a real hole if that continued.
Like, even if you trade him, it's to the point where you're probably asking for young D back because you need people to play this position. And it's not like we can count on Oliver Shillington also being a free agent, being around, Chris Tanev upping here, Nikita Zadorov being back. Even Gilbert and Osterley could be anywhere as free agents next year. They have nobody signed. 2 in the NHL level, 1 in the American. That's got to be the lowest number in the NHL. 3 guys in the entire organization on defense signed next year. So I'm not against it. It's just like, how many of these opportunities do you have where you could turn a player into a really nice bundle of assets? And I understand the offers weren't great in the summer. That has nothing to do with the market's going to be at the deadline, right? You let a lot of the clock tick off. You eat half the money. It's the last year of a deal. People are banking cap space all season. Injuries happen. You can plug and play this guy into anyone's top 4. No sweat. This is a valuable piece at the deadline.
And I can't remember if we talked about it on the show or after the show, because we were having a little convo after the show. The question is, and we talked about with Frank, so what's changed? Because it felt like in the summer, and maybe it's just emotions are raw and you're pissed off about how the season went. It's like, I need a change. I'm done. And then you get to now, and maybe all of this big cap spending extravaganza that we've been talking about coming up next summer isn't going to be quite what we thought it was going to be. And maybe it's not going up as much. And maybe teams are going to be a little bit more strapped than we thought, that you're not just going to go out there and lay down a number and have teams race into your door to give it to you. Maybe you do need to take it good while it getting's good kind of thing. Which on one hand, you feel like, is that why you want someone to stay?
Nope.
Is that what it's about? But at the same time, then it's like, okay, we're going to take those cap savings and we're going to spend them. And then you get to next summer.
Nope. Yeah, if you really want the playbook on how good teams operate, don't go spend all that money in free agency. I mean, that's where the bad deals are signed, is July 1.
It's
and
weird.
They're gonna have
to me, I would be happy to sign him.
Sign Noah.
And look, if you had Shillington back and he looked like a top 4, this is a totally different conversation. Like that's a blow to your theoretical, like someone that could step into the top 4 in a year. At this point, it's like you can't place any stock in that happening.
And again, we did say it yesterday, you still have to play in the NHL next year.
Yeah, there are games to be played.
No matter what direction you go, whether you're status quo or you're trying to rebuild or retool.
It is funny. We've seen 4 flip-flops in terms of this 2024 UFA crop. So Toffoli, exit meetings, would love to resign, love it here. Conversation didn't go well. And actually I want to be traded, which is like the opposite of what most of these things were. And I get it. It sounded like he wanted monster term and that guy.
And I wonder if the GM was smart enough to go, love you, but not at those numbers. Sorry, bud.
Well, not at that term too. I mean, he's a goal scorer now, but he doesn't move well. And how old is he? That makes sense to me to move on from Toffoli. And I get that he wants to look, there's not, how many years does Tyler Toffoli have left? Like, I don't know. Go to a contender that works for him. Okay, good. He switches course. Backlund, not going to resign. He's done. He's going to play out his trade me or play out free agent. Sounds like they were close with Colorado on a swap. Actually changed my mind. I'm signing here. Lindy, not interested in resigning. Well, there's contract conversation been happening all summer after we heard he wasn't going to sign. And now Hannafin, I'd like to play in the U.S. Border hasn't moved. And now he apparently is close to resigning. Like, that's 4 guys that we've seen full 180s on in terms of what they said they wanted to do and what their actions are showing. You don't negotiate if you're not interested in being somewhere.
And you know, the thing about Hannafin, it's kind of the opposite of what Rhett's doing. Hannafin making American dollars, spending Canadian dollars, living here. Rhett is making Canadian money and living in America and having to.
Yeah, that way it's not as advantageous.
Is it because it's different, right? One way is definitely better.
One way's good. One way's
the cost of living is also different. Yes, there's the different markets are very different.
Right.
Yeah, you can go live in Manhattan and make American dollars, or that would not be as fun as living in,
so how does that work? Do you walk to the bank with a bucket of Canadian money, and then they hand you a little bit back, and you just kind of put it in your pocket? That got this for that? That's right, Mr. Warner. Let's take a look at our Betway Bets. It is the Frozen Frenzy. And I got silly today, guys. There's so many games. Every team's playing. Betway, get the Betway app on your phone. Play along. Bet the responsible way with our buddies at Betway. And that's the thing. You get in there. We're just showing you just a little, like a sliver of what you could do on there. They got all kinds of stuff on the app. Go find out for yourself. Betway. Bet the responsible way with Betway. I'm parlaying today, boys. Ooh. Just for some fun. The Toronto Maple Leafs are at the Washington Capitals. Boston is in Chicago, and Vegas is home to Philly. Now, Philly's been very good, but I'm going to throw them all together. Toronto, Boston, Vegas to win, plus 252. The Detroit Red Wings are home to Seattle.
They've been great.
The Colorado Avalanche are in New York to play the Islanders. Let's parlay those two into a money line. The Wings and the Avs give me just north of 200 plus 218.
You're loaded up on Boston, Vegas, Detroit, and Colorado. Combined, those teams do they have a loss?
I don't know that they
awesome out of the gate.
Yeah, all of Boston is what 5-0. Colorado, I think, is 5-0 or 5-game wins, whatever it is.
Vegas is 6-0. Detroit's off to a great start.
Detroit, yeah. I mean, there's who knows with the Leafs, right? They have been kind of up and down, and it's a parlay, and it's whatever. But it's what it is. It's a frenzy today. It's a frozen frenzy. I'm in the spirit with my bets of the day for Betway.
Vegas 6-0, Boston 5-0, Colorado 5-0, Detroit 5-1. That's a pretty nice group to parlay on in the first 2 weeks of the year.
Let's go.
I got Flames Rangers bets. Let's go. I like the over for the Flames, not because they're good at scoring over 2.5, but because they always do against the Rangers, it seems. Crazy, eh? Oh, this team isn't last year's team or the team the year before that hung 6 on Shesterkin. But they seem to score goals against Shesterkin and the Rangers. So we're going to take over 2.5, minus 150. Not a lot of value there, but we're playing the hunch for the trend to continue. And I like the total over because, well, shit, if the Flames are scoring goals, Rangers got some goals too, and I haven't loved the Flames defensively yet. So plus 110 if we have a 4-3 game or something like that.
Okay.
Thoughts, Rhett?
My thoughts would be if the Flames are going to win, Markstrom's going to have to be great, and you never score goals on the first day of snow.
Excuse me?
That's right.
The home team doesn't.
Snow.
Both teams or the?
No, Ryan, he's right. I got it right here. You do not score goals when at home on the first day of snow.
Mhm.
I might need to go back and do some amending there. Anyway, Betway Bets.
Hope there's no snow for you in that Toronto, Washington, Vegas, Philly, Detroit, Chicago. Yeah. Sorry about that.
I guess I better get my weather app and my Betway app open.
Marry those together.
Yeah, got to work on that for sure. Let's hey, coming up, today's what's today? What day of the week?
Tuesday.
What day is it today? Yeah, I think it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. Coming up on Thursday, Ask Rhett for Bonton Meats.
Get them in.
Start getting your questions in. They've been slowly, nice little gentle reminder for you. They're coming up on Thursday. Every Thursday, it's Ask Rhett. Maybe it's a hockey question. Maybe it's a life question. Maybe it's about
a question right now if you want.
Okay.
You would?
Dean?
Yeah.
Probably for you, but Pinder, you can join in. Would you ever consider sauteing onions and putting them in your chili? Or is it, if you have onions, are you going raw? And if you're putting onions in, or if you're having chili, do you put the onions in at all?
I think we got to wait till Thursday for that one. I gotta need some time to marinate.
Admittedly, I am pretty much I'm always sauteing ahead.
Are they just really soft and?
I'm talking not, but there's onion in your chili. I'm talking as a topping.
Oh, this again controversial. I'm not a huge fan of the raw onion. Some people put it on their burgers or their hot dogs or whatever. I like the sauteed onions if I'm going to go with that at all.
I just thought of it. I was like, maybe that would be something to try. Sweet
raw onion
as a topping on your chili.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah,
I'm in with the sauteed ones. The raw are very, very powerful.
We used to have, went on the fishing trips, not fish and chips. Raw onion and cheese whiz sandwiches.
Ooh,
toasted.
Yeah,
raw onion and cheese whiz sandwiches.
You know what the raw onions do to me, Jack? I just need the full shot. If you can give me, just give me the full shot. The raw onions as a topping or just whatever. Generally as a topping, what it does is it gives me one of these. So I like to saute those little buggers.
Is that the onion or the heart?
Is that heartburn or heart failure?
Somebody kick me in the chest, please.
I saw somebody
short of breath.
I saw somebody quite upset at a Costco not long ago. They were asking, "Where's the for the
damn
dogs?
Right? I'm with them.
Where's the onions? You got the ketchup, mustard, relish?
Did they take the onions on you?
Where are the onions? Oh, we don't do the onions. What the hell? What?
Garbage bag.
Start kicking stuff. To garbage can was flying. This was outrageous. I spent $1.50 on this hot dog. I better have some GD onions for it. She was very upset.
I thought that they had them in the little packet containers. They didn't have the big buffet line anymore.
You know what? I think it's another COVID cost. Maybe COVID cost us the
COVID casualty.
Because you used to have the things you could go and dip with the spoon and fire it on there.
Yeah, we have nice things.
Can't have nice things, right? No, can't do it.
Well, this Backlund guy better play good tonight.
Hashtag blame Backlund.
Hashtag is Shesterkin Siv. Let's see that again. He is a rare bad game against the Flames every year. It's weird.
Well, you know what it is? It's the elevation.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And the weed.
Big
Yeah. Big pothead. You're not doing that in Manhattan.
No.
I actually think you are.
I have, yeah.
We were there in the...
Well, shit.
Now way worse shit than that go on in freaking a barn.
You can't go a block without
now we gotta
heavy
really hope that thin air is going to come through. And they're going to boo Adam Fox again tonight. Boo.
It worked out really nicely last year. They got a good hearty boo. He made a mistake. They scored a goal. They called it back. Flames win. Felt good.
He'll roll into town and there's 6 feet of snow and the dome's dump. It's like,
I can't believe
if I just stayed
man, I was hasty
out.
in my decision making.
Really missing out.
Damn it. So the email for Rhett questions, askRhett@flamesnation.ca. That's the email where you can get your queries in for Retro, courtesy of Bonton Meat Market. Calgary tradition since 1921.
Sounds like you and Henry Burris are two of the finalists for that Riders head coaching job.
Well, we might combo up actually and just do it together, me and old Hank.
Just like you and Razor?
Yeah. Smiling Rhett.
Yeah. Let's go, Hank.
You'll tag team that job. Attaboy.
I'll do the D. Hank can do the old friends. Back to the promised land.
Yeah.
Dave's going to be worried when he hears that.
Big neck
He's been leaning.
Rider.
Yeah. Remember Hank had those photos flying around the internet?
No, please tell us, Dean. What were they?
I don't know if that's...
Were they Christmas photos? What were they? Sitting Santa?
You don't think it's worth...
I feel like Hank's a good guy. And
Hank's a great guy.
Yeah, well,
Hank's a great guy. And you know what? I saw there was a
football,
some kind of a whatever, like a survey or whatever, that he was voted by fans as the worst Chicago Bears quarterback of all time.
Oh, come on.
Please, Mitch.
Please.
They voted him as the worst of all time. Poor Hank.
That's ridiculous.
Great red black.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
He's a winner. Unlike us.
Well,
yeah,
that'll do it. That'll do it. We got Afterburner for you tonight from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino.
Oh, yeah. Late start, Dean.
40-ish start time.
Now, do you nap before? That's a late one for you, Grandpa.
I'm not really... Well, you know what? Now
he
that I'm
so well at night that he doesn't need to nap.
Yeah, now that I'm up
such a sound sleeper
for a good 2-3 hour chunk of the night, I do maybe try and catch some shut eye. We'll see how that goes.
Well, Naparu.
Yeah.
Turn on the fireplace.
Yeah, but I got some shoveling to do, so that'll exhaust me.
Don't
just haven't been training his people well enough.
How's your toe with the shoveling? That sounds like a bad mix.
No, it's no good. No good. No
you
good.
Can go do mine after?
Nope. Not going to do it.
Never thought about that.
About your...
You just have to be nice to your neighbors, right? That's all. I do my neighbors every morning.
No, my
sidewalks.
What's that, right?
Just the sidewalks. That's all I'm doing.
Ah, I see.
Front walkway. That's you.
How come you're so you're at the rink this today there, Retro? What's going on? Why are you at the rink?
I don't know.
It's here for a drink.
Change it up.
Yeah.
Big Pat Coletta was down here. Come down.
How's the team doing?
Yeah.
We're pretty
good,
average. Pretty average.
Yeah.
Direct result of poor coaching. And
hey, it's October. You're still... You don't want to peak now. Don't be good in
October.
No,
God, no. Yeah. You got to save that 950 goaltending for the spring, Rat. Come on.
Yeah. And a reminder, go to nationgear.ca and get yourself in. The Barn Burner Vacation, January 11th to 13th, presented by Alberta Blue Cross. We are going to Phoenix, Arizona. Flames and Coyotes at the Mullet Arena. We'll be there. We'd love you to be as well. Buy your spot. Limited spots available. They don't just give us all the tickets in the rink.
No, the whole rink. We've only got a certain number of seats.
We got a little block of seats. We got a little block, just a couple, some hotel rooms and flights and tickets and that. But we'd love you to come with us. It's kind of our first. This is our first big trip here at Barn Burner.
Can you do worse than the desert in January? That feels like, never mind the circus rink.
You could do worse. You could maybe do better. It's not about, it's just,
I think it's the best you could do. This is awesome. We looked at the whole schedule. This is the best we can do. It's going to be great.
Looking forward to it.
How many days? Have you got the countdown on?
No.
Yeah, maybe you and Pinder can do it. Love those
double occupancy.
trips.
You and I, Dino?
No chance.
Stuck in a car.
Oh my God. I've never, that's so crazy. I've never even thought about that in my life. A road trip with...
Oh no, I wouldn't be good. Be playing country western from the 60s. And I'm like, oh boy, we got a long way to go. And I wouldn't shut the hell up about some CHL rule. It would be a nightmare.
Yeah, that's true. Can't believe they still take goalies in the first round. Yeah, I know it's...
Yeah.
That's... have my head out the window like Ace Ventura.
That's right. Please, someone clip me with a mirror. End this now.
That's going to do it. Hey, enjoy the game tonight. Afterburner with Ryan and myself. We'll be back tomorrow to break it down for you.
Come say hi to Grey Eagle tonight. They got all the games up there. It's going to be great food, entertainment, beverages. Usually a nice little deal while the Flames are playing. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, with maybe some high kicks. Boy, I hope so.
Well, Michael Backlund can show us how to get things done. There'll be a high kick to celebrate.
Backlund scores. There better
float
be
around.
Damn
Let's go.
kick.
Oh, yeah. Be some definite high kicks then. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe, everybody. Be kind. Call your grandma. See you tomorrow, buddies.